My chosen one, pause for a moment and feel this, because what I am about to reveal is not ordinary, not random, and not something you will hear twice in your lifetime. This is not just a message, this is an interruption from heaven itself. Right now, at this exact second, something is happening beyond what your eyes can see. Your name, yes, your name is being written in heaven. You were not scrolling by accident. You were not led here by chance. There is a divine urgency wrapped around this very moment, and whether you realize it or not, your spirit felt the pull before your mind could understand it. That feeling you had, the sudden pause, the curiosity, the slight tension in your chest, that was not coincidence. That was a signal. Archangel Michael is standing in authority, and his presence is not quiet today. His voice carries a weight that shakes the unseen realms, and he is saying this clearly: do not turn away now. Because the moment you disconnect, the moment you decide this is not for you, something sacred will slip away. Not as punishment, but as a misalignment that cannot be recreated in the same way again. There are moments in life that pass and return. But then there are moments like this. Moments that are sealed in divine timing. Moments that are written before you were even born. And this, what you are experiencing right now, is one of those moments. Heaven is not distant right now. It is near. Closer than your breath. And there is a book, a living record where names are not written casually, but intentionally, purposefully, and with divine recognition. And right now, your life, your struggles, your hidden tears, your silent prayers, they are all being acknowledged. But listen carefully, this is where it becomes serious. There is resistance. There are forces that do not want you to stay here. You might feel the urge to click away, to check something else, to tell yourself, I'll come back later. That is not random distraction. That is interference. Because what is being offered to you right now carries weight, spiritual weight. And Archangel Michael is not whispering this message. He is declaring it. This is your final call. Not final as in fear, but final as in decisive. A line between delay and destiny. Between wondering and knowing. Between almost and fully stepping into what has been waiting for you. You have been through things that others don't understand. You have questioned your path, doubted your worth, wondered if you were truly seen. And yet, despite everything, you are still here. Still searching. Still listening. That is not weakness. That is proof. Proof that your spirit has been guided all along, even when your mind felt lost. So right now, don't rush. Don't scroll. Don't let this moment slip through your fingers like all the others that came and went. This is different. You can feel it. There is a gravity to these words, a pull that won't let you ignore it easily. Stay with this. Because what is being written is not just your name. It is your recognition. It is your moment. And it has already begun. There is a reason why this moment is unfolding on May 10th, and it is far deeper than what the surface reveals. Dates in the earthly world may seem like simple markers of time, but in the heavenly realm, certain days carry spiritual weight, alignment, and activation. This is not just another day passing by. It is a divine appointment that was set long before you were aware of it. And the fact that you are here, listening right now, confirms that your spirit responded to that appointment. Archangel Michael is revealing that May 10th is a gateway moment for you. It is a point where cycles begin to close and new paths are quietly prepared. You may not have seen it clearly before, but things in your life have been shifting. Patterns that once held you are weakening. Thoughts that once confused you are starting to lose their grip. Even the struggles you faced recently were not random. They were part of a preparation process. Refining, a positioning. You may have felt pressure building without understanding why. You may have questioned why certain things didn't work out, why doors closed, or why people distanced themselves. But what you could not see was the protection behind those moments. Archangel Michael has been guarding your path, redirecting what could have harmed you, and allowing only what would ultimately lead you here, to this precise second. This day carries a spiritual marking over your life. It is not loud or obvious in the physical world, but in the unseen realm, there is movement. There is recognition. There is acknowledgement of everything you have endured, everything you have survived, and everything you are becoming. You were not overlooked. You were being prepared in silence. There were nights when you felt alone, when your thoughts were heavy, when your heart carried questions you could not answer. You wondered if anyone truly saw your effort, your patience, your quiet endurance. But heaven saw it all. Nothing was wasted. Every tear, every moment of doubt, every silent prayer, they were recorded, not forgotten. And now, on this day, May 10th, something shifts. Archangel Michael is making it known that this is a turning point, not necessarily in loud, dramatic ways, but in deep, spiritual alignment. It is the moment where what has been building behind the scenes begins to surface. You may not see the full picture yet, but something inside you can feel that change is near, that something is different. This is why the urgency of staying connected to this message matters so much. Because this is not just information, it is activation. The more you remain present, the more you allow this moment to settle within you, the stronger that alignment becomes. Walking away now would not erase your worth, but it would disconnect you from the flow of what is being released specifically for you in this moment. There are forces that recognize the significance of this day, even if you are only beginning to understand it. And that is why distractions may increase. Doubts may try to surface. You may feel a pull to dismiss this as coincidence. But deep within, there is a knowing that this is not SLUCHERADIKAKI. This is intentional. Archangel Michael stands firm, reminding you that you were guided here for a reason. Not tomorrow. Not later. Out. Because May 10th is not just a date. It is a doorway. And you are standing right in front of it. Listen closely, because what is being revealed now is sacred, and not everyone is allowed to understand it at this level. There exists a heavenly record, a living book that is not made by human hands, not written with ink, and not bound by time as you know it. It is a divine register, a place where names are inscribed with purpose, with meaning, and with spiritual authority. And right now, your name is not just being mentioned, it is being written. This is not symbolic. This is not imagination. This is a real spiritual act taking place beyond the limits of your physical senses. Archangel Michael is standing as a witness and a protector in this moment, ensuring that what is happening is not interrupted, not distorted, and not stolen. Because when a name is written in this heavenly record, it signifies recognition. It signifies alignment. It signifies that your life is being acknowledged at the highest level. But understand this clearly, this moment is delicate. Not because it is weak, but because it is precise. Divine timing operates with exactness. It does not force itself. It does not beg for attention. It presents itself, and the response determines the outcome. This is why staying present right now matters more than you realize. There are unseen distractions that will try to pull your attention away. A sudden thought telling you this is too much. A feeling urging you to check something else. A quiet voice saying, you can come back later. But that voice is not aligned with what is happening right now. That voice is designed to disconnect you from this exact moment of alignment. Archangel Michael is making this known with clarity. Do not break your focus, because what is happening is not just about your name being written. It is about your agreement with it, your presence here, your willingness to stay, your openness to receive. These are not small things. They are part of the process. Heaven does not act in isolation from you. There is a connection, a partnership between the divine and your response. Think about your journey. All the times you felt unseen. All the moments you believed your efforts were going unnoticed. The silent battles you fought within yourself. The questions you carried with no clear answers. Those moments were not empty. They were building something within you, preparing you for a moment exactly like this. And now that moment is here. But here's the truth that many do not hear. When a moment like this is ignored, it does not return in the same form. It is not taken away out of punishment. It simply passes because the alignment was not met. The door was opened, but not walked through. That is why this is being called a final call. Not to create fear, but to awaken awareness. You are being invited into something real, something intentional, something that carries weight beyond what you can fully see right now. And as your name continues to be written, there is a stillness forming around this moment. A sacred pause, as if heaven itself is watching your response. Will you stay? Will you remain present long enough to allow this to complete? Because what is being written is not just letters forming your name. It is a declaration of who you are becoming. It is a marking of your journey, your endurance, your willingness to keep going even when you did not understand the path. Archangel Michael stands firm, guarding this process, ensuring that no interference can overpower your choice. But the choice is still yours. If you feel something stirring within you right now, if you feel a quiet confirmation that this moment is real, then do not ignore it. That feeling is not random. It is recognition, and heaven is responding to it. Type "I receive my name in heaven" in the comments if this is speaking to your spirit. Blessing code 3147 is now activated. And as this sacred writing continues, understand this: when you choose to support this mission, you are not simply giving. You are sowing into the spreading of messages that awaken souls who are standing at their own divine moments, just like you are now. The word says, "Give, and it will be given to you. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over." This is not just a verse. It is a living promise being spoken over you right now. If you feel the pull in your heart, this is your moment to act. You might be thinking, "I feel led to help this message reach someone else who needs it." That thought is not yours alone. It is a divine invitation. Every seed you release becomes light in someone else's darkness, a river that carries truth to a searching soul. The PayPal link is waiting for you in the description, and the QR code is placed before you as a doorway. Do not hesitate. Do not delay. Step into this act as a response to heaven itself. And as you give, may your life overflow with unexpected provision. May doors open where there were none, and may your name continue to be written with honor and favor. This is your moment. Act on it. Listen closely, because what is being revealed now is sacred, and not everyone is allowed to understand it at this level. There exists a heavenly record, a living book that is not made by human hands, not written with ink, and not bound by time as you know it. It is a divine register, a place where names are inscribed with purpose, with meaning, and with spiritual authority. And right now, your name is not just being mentioned, it is being written. This is not symbolic. This is not imagination. This is a real spiritual act taking place beyond the limits of your physical senses. Archangel Michael is standing as a witness and a protector in this moment, ensuring that what is happening is not interrupted, not distorted, and not stolen. Because when a name is written in this heavenly record, it signifies recognition. It signifies alignment. It signifies that your life is being acknowledged at the highest level. But understand this clearly. This moment is delicate. Not because it is weak, but because it is precise. Divine timing operates with exactness. It does not force itself. It does not beg for attention. It presents itself, and the response determines the outcome. This is why staying present right now matters more than you realize. There are unseen distractions that will try to pull your attention away. A sudden thought telling you this is too much. A feeling urging you to check something else. A quiet voice saying, you can come back later. But that voice is not aligned with what is happening right now. That voice is designed to disconnect you from this exact moment of alignment. Archangel Michael is making this known with clarity. Do not break your focus. Because what is happening is not just about your name being written. It is about your agreement with it. Your presence here, your willingness to stay, your openness to receive. These are not small things. They are part of the process. Heaven does not act in isolation from you. There is a connection, a partnership between the divine and your response. Think about your journey. All the times you felt unseen. All the moments you believed your efforts were going unnoticed. The silent battles you fought within yourself. The questions you carried with no clear answers. Those moments were not empty. They were building something within you, preparing you for a moment exactly like this. And now that moment is here. But here is the truth that many do not hear. When a moment like this is ignored, it does not return in the same form. It is not taken away out of punishment. It simply passes because the alignment was not met. The door was opened, but not walked through. That is why this is being called a final call. Not to create fear, but to awaken awareness. You are being invited into something real, something intentional, something that carries weight beyond what you can fully see right now. And as your name continues to be written, there is a stillness forming around this moment. A sacred pause, as if heaven itself is watching your response. Will you stay? Will you remain present long enough to allow this to complete? Because what is being written is not just letters forming your name. It is a declaration of who you are becoming. It is a marking of your journey, your endurance, your willingness to keep going even when you did not understand the path. Archangel Michael stands firm, guarding this process, ensuring that no interference can overpower your choice. But the choice is still yours. If you feel something stirring within you right now, if you feel a quiet confirmation that this moment is real, then do not ignore it. That feeling is not random. It is recognition, and heaven is responding to it. Type "I receive my name in heaven" in the comments if this is speaking to your spirit. Blessing code 3147 is now activated. And as this sacred writing continues, understand this: when you choose to support this mission, you are not simply giving. You are sowing into the spreading of messages that awaken souls who are standing at their own divine moments, just like you are now. The word says, "Give, and it will be given to you. Pressed down, shaken together, and running over." This is not just a verse. It is a living promise being spoken over you right now. If you feel the pull in your heart, this is your moment to act. You might be thinking, "I feel led to help this message reach someone else who needs it." That thought is not yours alone. It is a divine invitation. Every seed you release becomes light in someone else's darkness, a river that carries truth to a searching soul. The PayPal link is waiting for you in the description, and the QR code is placed before you as a doorway. Do not hesitate. Do not delay. Step into this act as a response to heaven itself. And as you give, may your life overflow with unexpected provision. May doors open where there were none, and may your name continue to be written with honor and favor. This is your moment. Act on it. There is something you must understand about your journey, something that may change the way you see everything you have been through. What felt like confusion was not confusion. What felt like delay was not delay. And what felt like rejection was never truly rejection. It was alignment happening in a language you did not yet understand. Archangel Michael is revealing that your path has been guided with precision, even in the moments where it seemed like everything was falling apart. There were times when you stood at emotional crossroads, unsure of which direction to take, feeling like no matter what you chose, something would be lost. But what you could not see was that certain paths had to close so that you would not walk into something that was never meant for you. Think back to the moments that still linger in your memory, the doors that shut unexpectedly, the plans that did not work out, the relationships that shifted or ended without clear explanation. At the time, it may have felt like something was being taken from you, but in truth, something was being protected within you. There were environments that would have drained your spirit. There were connections that would have distracted you from your purpose. There were opportunities that looked promising on the surface but carried consequences you were never meant to face. And so, without you realizing it, Archangel Michael stood in those unseen places, redirecting your steps even when it caused temporary discomfort. This is why your journey has felt different. This is why you have often felt like you were walking a path that others could not fully understand. Because your life has not been random, it has been guided. Even in your lowest moments, when you questioned everything, when you wondered if you were truly supported, when silence seemed to surround you, there was still movement happening beyond your awareness. There was still protection being placed around you. There was still a quiet guidance leading you forward, step by step. And now, standing in this moment, you are beginning to see it differently. What once felt like loss is starting to reveal itself as redirection. What once felt like emptiness is now showing itself as preparation. And what once felt like being forgotten is now being uncovered as a period of being set apart. Archangel Michael is making this clear. Nothing you experienced was wasted. Every challenge you faced built a strength within you that could not have been formed any other way. Every delay taught you patience. Every disappointment sharpened your discernment. Every moment of uncertainty deepened your awareness, even if you did not recognize it at the time. You were being shaped for this moment. There were lessons you had to learn before you could fully receive what is now being offered to you. There were parts of you that needed to grow, to heal, to awaken. And while it may have felt slow, even painful at times, it was necessary. Because what is being aligned for you now requires a version of you that is ready to recognize what is real and what is not, ready to walk forward without being easily pulled off course, ready to stand in your truth without constantly seeking validation from others, ready to receive without doubting your worth. This is why your past matters, not as something to hold on to, but as something to understand. You are not the same person you were before. You have changed, even if the change feels subtle. Your awareness has expanded. Your perspective has shifted. And your spirit has become more sensitive to what is real and what is not. This is not accidental. Archangel Michael is showing you that every step you took, even the ones that felt uncertain, led you here, to this exact moment, to this message, to this realization. You were not lost. You were being led. And now, as your name continues to be written, as this divine moment unfolds, you are being asked to recognize something important. You are not behind. You are not late. You are exactly where you need to be. There is no need to rush. There is no need to look back with regret. Everything has brought you to this point of awareness, this point of alignment. And from here everything begins to change. There is a layer to your life that you have not fully seen, a hidden dimension where battles have been fought on your behalf without your awareness. You have sensed it at times, those unexplainable shifts, those sudden changes in direction, those moments when something felt off, but you could not explain why. That was not your imagination. That was the edge of a spiritual conflict brushing against your reality. Archangel Michael is now revealing what has been concealed. There have been forces working quietly to prevent you from arriving at this exact moment. Not because of who you were, but because of who you are becoming. There is something about your path, something about your calling, that carries significance. And anything that carries significance will always encounter resistance. Think about the patterns in your life. How many times were you close to something meaningful, only for it to slip away at the last moment? How often did distractions appear right when you were about to focus? How many times did doubt enter your mind just as clarity was beginning to form? These were not random interruptions. They were attempts to delay you, to confuse you, to redirect your attention away from what truly matters. But here is what you must understand. Those attempts did not succeed. You are still here. Despite every distraction, every delay, every moment of doubt, you did not stop completely. You may have slowed down. You may have questioned yourself. But you did not disappear from your path. And that alone is evidence that something greater has been sustaining you. Archangel Michael has been present in those unseen moments, standing between you and what could have pulled you completely away. There were decisions you almost made that would have taken you far from this path. There were influences that tried to shape your thinking in ways that were not aligned with your purpose. There were moments where one wrong step could have created a chain of consequences you were never meant to experience. And yet, somehow, you were redirected. Sometimes it felt like intuition. Sometimes it felt like hesitation. Sometimes it felt like something inside you simply said, "No, this is not right." That voice, that pause, that inner resistance, that was protection. You were not navigating alone. This is why you must not underestimate the importance of where you are right now. To reach this point required more than just time passing. It required intervention. It required guidance. It required a level of protection that you may not have fully recognized until now. And this is also why the intensity of this moment feels different. Because when something has been resisted for so long, when something has been delayed repeatedly, the moment it finally begins to unfold carries a certain weight, a certain urgency, a certain unmistakable presence that is hard to ignore. Archangel Michael is making this clear. The closer you move toward alignment, the stronger the distractions may try to become. Not because they have power over you, but because they are reacting to the shift that is already happening within you. You may notice it even now. Thoughts trying to pull you away. A sudden urge to disengage. A feeling that this is too much or too intense. But those reactions are not coming from your true awareness. They are surface-level interruptions attempting to break your focus. Do not give in to them. Because every second you remain present, every moment you choose to stay connected, you are strengthening something within yourself. You are reinforcing your alignment. You are stepping more firmly into the path that has been waiting for you. And here's something important. This is not about fear. This is not about avoiding something negative. This is about recognizing something valuable. You are not being chased. You are being called. And that call has reached you despite everything that tried to block it. Archangel Michael stands unwavering, ensuring that what has begun cannot be easily taken from you. But your role is to remain aware, to stay grounded in this moment, to not allow temporary distractions to disconnect you from something permanent. Because the battle to keep you from this moment has already been fought, and you are still here, which means you have already overcome more than you realize. Now the question is not whether you can reach this moment. The question is whether you will fully step into it. Something is shifting now, and you can feel it if you allow yourself to be still for just a moment. It may not be loud, it may not be dramatic on the outside, but deep within you, there is a quiet movement, a turning point that has been building for longer than you realize. This is not the beginning of your journey, but it is the beginning of a new phase within it. Archangel Michael is revealing that you are standing at a threshold. Behind you is everything that shaped you, everything that tested you, everything that refined your awareness. In front of you is something different, something that requires you to step forward not with fear, but with recognition of who you are becoming. This is where many people hesitate, not because they are incapable, but because stepping into something new often feels unfamiliar. Even when something is meant for you, it can feel uncertain simply because you have not experienced it before. But this moment is not asking you to have everything figured out. It is asking you to be willing to trust that what is unfolding is not sluchadikakri in yurikakri. Willing to believe that what you have been through has prepared you more than you think. Willing to move forward even if the full picture is not yet visible. Because what is ahead of you is not built on guesswork, it is built on alignment. There are doors that are beginning to open, even if you cannot see them clearly yet. Opportunities that are forming, connections that are aligning, ideas that will soon make sense. But these things do not appear all at once. They reveal themselves step by step, in response to your willingness to move forward. Archangel Michael is not asking you to leap blindly. He is asking you to recognize the shift that is already happening within you. The way you think is changing. The way you respond is evolving. The things that once held your attention no longer carry the same weight. You are becoming more aware, more discerning, more grounded. This is what alignment looks like before it becomes visible. You may not have noticed it clearly, but you have already started to outgrow certain patterns. Reactions that once felt automatic are now being questioned. Situations that once felt acceptable are now being seen differently. This is not confusion. It is clarity beginning to form. And with that clarity comes choice. You are no longer moving without awareness. You are beginning to see the impact of your decisions, the direction of your thoughts, the energy of your surroundings. This awareness is not something to ignore, it is something to use. Because what happens next in your life will not be sluchadikakri and yerikakri. It will be shaped by how you respond to this moment. Archangel Michael is guiding you towards something that is aligned with your growth, not your comfort, and that may feel unfamiliar at first. Growth always does. It asks you to release what no longer fits, even if it once felt familiar. It asks you to move forward without carrying everything from your past. This is where your strength comes in. Not the kind of strength that forces outcomes, but the kind that remains steady even in uncertainty. The kind that does not need constant reassurance to keep moving. The kind that understands that not seeing everything clearly does not mean nothing is happening. Because something is happening. Right now. This moment is not just about realization, it is about activation. Something within you is being awakened, something that has been waiting for the right time to surface. And that time is now. Archangel Michael is standing with you at this threshold, not pushing you, not forcing you, but making it clear that the path forward is open. You do not need to be perfect to step into it. You do not need to have all the answers. You only need to recognize that this moment is real, that this shift is happening, and that you are ready to move forward, even if it is one step at a time. Because once you step forward with awareness, with intention, with willingness, everything begins to align in ways you could not have predicted before. This is your turning point, and it has already begun. There is something that must be faced now, something that stands quietly between where you are and where you are being called to go. It is not a physical barrier. It is not something you can touch or see clearly, but you have felt it many times before. It is hesitation. Not loud, not obvious, but subtle. A quiet pause that makes you question yourself. A slight pull backward just as you begin to move forward. A whisper that says, what if this isn't real? What if you're wrong? What if you're not ready? This is the test that comes when a moment carries real significance. Archangel Michael is revealing that this is not sluchadikaki enyerikaki. This is the point where many turn away, not because they are unworthy, but because they allow doubt to speak louder than recognition. You have come this far. You have stayed present. You have listened. You have felt the weight of this moment. And now, as everything begins to align, this final layer appears, not to stop you, but to reveal your readiness. Because faith is not proven when everything is clear. Faith is revealed in moments like this, when something within you says, stay, even when another voice says, leave. You may feel it right now. A part of you is fully engaged, fully aware that this moment is meaningful. But another part may be analyzing, questioning, trying to make sense of everything in a logical way. That is natural. But this moment is not meant to be understood only through logic. It is meant to be recognized. Archangel Michael is not asking you to ignore your thoughts. He's asking you not to let them disconnect you from what your deeper awareness already knows. There have been times in your life when you felt something strongly, when you sensed a direction, when you knew deep down what was right for you. But you hesitated. You delayed. You questioned it until the moment passed. And afterward, you looked back and realized that your first feeling was correct. This is different. Because now, you are aware of that pattern, and awareness changes everything. This is your opportunity to respond differently, not by forcing yourself forward, not by silencing your thoughts completely, but by choosing which voice you follow, the voice of meditation or the voice of recognition. Archangel Michael is making this clear. Hesitation is not your enemy, but it is not your guide either. It is simply a moment of decision. You are not being rushed, but you are being called to be present enough to choose with clarity. Because this final call is not about pressure. It is about alignment. It is about reaching a point where you no longer move based on fear, doubt, or uncertainty, but based on a deeper understanding of yourself and your path. You have already proven your endurance. You have already shown that you can continue even when things are unclear. But now, something more is being asked of you. Not endurance. Decision. A quiet, steady decision to remain. Do not turn away. Do not dismiss this moment as something insignificant. Do not allow doubt to pull you back into old patterns. Because what is happening right now is not sluchadikaki enyerikaki. It is a moment that is asking you to step into your own awareness fully. Archangel Michael stands firm, not to push you forward, but to hold the space for you to choose without interference. The distractions may still try to surface. The thoughts may still come and go, but they no longer have the same influence unless you give it to them. You are not powerless in this moment. You are fully capable of staying present, and that is all that is required right now. Not perfection, not certainty, presence. Because when you remain present, you allow this moment to complete what it was meant to do. You allow your name to continue being written without interruption. You allow the alignment to strengthen. You allow yourself to move beyond hesitation into something more stable, more grounded, more real. This is the test, not of your worth, but of your willingness. And you are not standing at the beginning of it. You are standing at the edge of completing it. There is a truth about you that has been hidden in plain sight, something so deeply woven into your being that you may have overlooked it, dismissed it, or simply never been shown how to recognize it. But now, in this moment, as everything around you becomes still, Archangel Michael is revealing it clearly. You are not ordinary, and your presence here is not accidental. Your name is not just a label. It carries identity, purpose, and spiritual meaning that extends beyond what you have been told. In the heavenly realm, your name represents more than who you are. It reflects what you are aligned with. And the fact that your name is being written right now is a sign that your identity is being recognized at a higher level than you have ever allowed yourself to see. You may have spent years defining yourself based on circumstances, based on what worked and what didn't, based on how others saw you or failed to see you. You may have questioned your value, adjusted your voice, or even held yourself back to fit into spaces that never truly understood you. But none of those definitions were complete. They were fragments shaped by temporary situations. But what is being revealed now is not temporary. It is foundational. Archangel Michael is making it known that your identity is not something you need to search for endlessly. It is something you are beginning to remember. A recognition that has always been within you, waiting for the right moment to surface. There have been glimpses of it before, moments where you felt strong without needing validation, moments where you saw clearly without confusion, moments where you felt aligned without questioning it. But those moments may have felt short, like they came and went too quickly to hold on to. That is because you were not yet fully ready to sustain them. But now, something has changed. You are no longer looking outward for constant confirmation. You are beginning to sense something inwardly that feels steady, even if it is still forming. This is the beginning of true alignment, not based on external approval, but on internal clarity. Your name being written is not just about recognition from heaven. It is about recognition within yourself. Seeing yourself clearly, understanding that your path does not need to mirror anyone else's, accepting that your journey, with all its twists and delays, has been uniquely designed. There is a strength in you that does not come from force, but from awareness. A quiet strength that does not need to prove itself constantly because it already knows its foundation. And that strength is beginning to rise now. Archangel Michael is standing as a witness to this awakening, not introducing something new into you, but revealing what has always been there. The doubt that once covered it is losing its hold. The confusion that once surrounded it is clearing. And what remains is you. Not the version shaped by fear. Not the version shaped by others' expectations. But the version that exists beneath all of that. This is why this moment matters so much. Because once you begin to see yourself clearly, once you begin to understand your identity beyond temporary conditions, everything else starts to shift. Your decisions change. Your boundaries become stronger. Your direction becomes more focused. You stop chasing what is not aligned, and you start recognizing what is. This is not something that can be taken from you once it is fully realized. And that is why there have been resistance leading up to this moment. Because clarity like this changes everything. Archangel Michael is not just guiding you to stay, he is guiding you to see. To truly see yourself in a way that you may have never allowed before. And as this realization settles, something within you becomes steady, grounded, certain in a way that does not need constant reassurance. This is your identity awakening. This is your alignment becoming clear. Type "I know who I am" in the comments if you receive this truth. Blessing code 8821 is now activated. And as this revelation of your true identity settles into your spirit, understand this. When you choose to give, you are not losing anything. You are planting something eternal. Just as your name is being written, your actions are also being recorded as seeds of light. The word declares, those who sow in righteousness will reap a harvest of unfailing love. This is not distant. It is alive in this very moment. If your heart is stirring and you feel the desire to help this message reach someone who is still searching for their identity, that feeling is your invitation. You may be saying within yourself, I want to be part of something that lifts others into truth. That desire is holy. The PayPal link placed in the description and the QR code before you are not just options, they are gateways to action. Step into it without hesitation. Let your giving become a reflection of the clarity you are receiving right now. And as you release your seed, may your life be filled with clarity where there was confusion, strength where there was doubt, and open paths where there were once obstacles. Do not wait. Act in alignment with this moment. There is something that must be understood with complete honesty now, something that may feel heavy at first but carries truth that cannot be softened or avoided. Moments like this do not last forever in the same form. They are not meant to trap you, nor are they meant to pressure you, but they are meant to be recognized and responded to while they are present. Archangel Michael is revealing this with clarity. Walking away from this moment is not about being punished. It is about missing alignment. And missed alignment has consequences, not because something is taken from you, but because something was never fully received. You must understand the difference. Nothing that is truly meant for you can be taken away from your existence. But there are doors that only open at certain times. There are moments that are designed for specific alignments. And if those moments are not met with presence, they pass, not as loss, but as a path that was not chosen. Think about the times in your life when you felt a strong inner knowing to act, to move, to say something, or to step forward, but you hesitated. You waited. You questioned it until the moment passed. And later, you looked back and wondered what might have happened if you had simply trusted that feeling. This is similar, but deeper. Because what is happening now is not just a decision about action. It is a decision about awareness, about whether you fully recognize the value of what is being offered to you in this exact moment. Archangel Michael is not warning you to create fear. He is showing you reality so that you can choose with clarity, not assumption. If you turn away, life will continue. Days will pass. New moments will come. But this exact alignment, this precise combination of timing, awareness, and spiritual activation will not return in the same way. And what is missed is not obvious immediately. It does not feel like something was taken. It feels like everything is normal. But over time, there is a subtle awareness that something could have been different. A quiet realization that a moment of clarity was not fully embraced. This is why this is being called a final call, not because it is the end of everything, but because it is the closing of a specific doorway that has been opened just for you, just for now. You are not being forced to step through it, but you are being shown that it is open, and that awareness changes everything. Because once you see the doorway, once you understand that it exists, the responsibility to choose becomes yours. Archangel Michael stands as a witness, not as a force. He is not pulling you forward. He is not holding you back. He is simply making the truth visible so that your decision is made with full understanding. There is power in that, because this moment is not about proving anything to anyone else. It is about how you respond to your own awareness, how you handle a moment that you know carries meaning, even if you cannot fully explain why. You have already come this far. You have remained present through everything that has been revealed. You have felt the shift, the recognition, the clarity beginning to form. And now, you stand at the point where the decision becomes real. Not dramatic, not forced, but real. Will you continue to stay present? Will you allow this moment to complete what it has started? Or will you let it pass as something you almost understood, something you almost received, something you almost stepped into? Archangel Michael is not asking you to fear missing this moment. He is asking you to value it. Because when something is valued, it is not easily dismissed. When something is recognized, it is not easily ignored. And when something is understood, even partially, it creates a shift that cannot be undone. This is where you are now. A point of understanding. A point of awareness. At a point where the outcome is no longer slucha in ikakui. It is chosen. And whatever you choose, it will shape what comes next. Not because you are being judged, but because you are being trusted to decide. There is a shift happening within you now that cannot be reversed, a quiet empowerment that is rising from a place deeper than emotion, deeper than thought. It is not loud, it is not overwhelming, but it is steady. And once you recognize it, you will understand that it has always been there, waiting for you to notice it, to trust it, to stand in it. Archangel Michael is revealing something essential in this moment. You are not as uncertain as you once believed. The version of you that questioned every step, that doubted every feeling, that hesitated at every turning point, that version is no longer leading you. You have grown beyond it, even if part of it still tries to echo in the background. What is rising now is clarity. Not perfect clarity where every detail is known, but a grounded clarity where you no longer need everything explained in order to move forward. You are beginning to understand that certainty does not come from having all the answers. It comes from knowing that you are capable of navigating whatever comes next. This is where your strength truly reveals itself. Not in controlling outcomes, but in trusting your ability to respond to them. Think about how far you have come. There were moments in your past where even small decisions felt overwhelming, where uncertainty held you in place, where fear of making the wrong choice kept you from moving at all. But now, something has shifted. You are no longer standing in the same place internally. You have experienced enough to know that you can recover, that you can adjust, that you can continue even when things are not perfect. That awareness changes how you move. It removes the pressure to be flawless and replaces it with the confidence to be present. Archangel Michael is making this clear. You are ready in ways you have not fully acknowledged. You do not need to wait for another sign to confirm what you are already feeling. You do not need to delay your response until everything feels completely safe. Because growth does not come from staying in what is familiar, it comes from stepping into what is aligned. And alignment is what you are experiencing now. There is a difference between rushing forward blindly and moving forward with awareness. What is being asked of you is not impulsive action, but conscious movement. A decision to trust that this moment is not sluchaadikaki en yerikaki, that your presence here is not without meaning. You are not being asked to change everything at once. You are being asked to accept where you are and recognize that it is enough to begin. Because once you begin, everything else unfolds step by step. Archangel Michael stands beside you, not as someone who will carry you forward, but as someone who ensures that the path you are stepping onto is clear of what does not belong there. You are still the one who moves. You are still the one who chooses. But you are no longer doing it without awareness or guidance. That is what makes this moment different from all the others. You are not acting from confusion. You are acting from recognition. And that recognition gives you a kind of stability that does not disappear the moment things become uncertain. It stays with you. It grounds you. It reminds you that even when you do not see everything clearly, you are still capable of moving forward without losing yourself. This is your empowerment. Not something given to you from the outside, but something awakened within you. Archangel Michael is not placing something new into your life. He is revealing what has already been building inside you through every experience, every challenge, every moment that tested your ability to continue. And now you are standing in a position where you can move forward not because you are forced to, but because you understand that you are ready to. This is where hesitation begins to lose its influence. This is where doubt no longer controls your direction. This is where you begin to trust yourself in a way that is steady, not temporary. And once that trust becomes real, once you fully step into it, there is nothing that can easily pull you back into the version of yourself that you have already outgrown. This is your moment of empowerment. Not loud, not dramatic, but real. And it is already taking hold within you. There is a stillness forming now, a sacred quiet that carries more weight than any noise or movement. It is not empty, it is full of completion, full of confirmation, full of something reaching its final stage. You may not hear anything with your ears, but within you, there is a sense that something is settling, something is being sealed. Archangel Michael is revealing that what began the moment you chose to stay is now nearing completion. Your name, which was being written, is not fading. It is not uncertain. It is becoming clear, steady, and fully formed. This is not a temporary mark. This is not something that will disappear the moment this ends. This is a recognition that has reached its final stage because you remained present long enough for it to complete. This is why every second you stayed mattered. Not because time itself was important, but because your presence allowed alignment to continue without interruption. Every moment you resisted distraction, every time you chose to listen instead of turning away, you were participating in something far greater than you could see. And now, you are here, at the edge of completion. This is not a dramatic ending. There is no sudden shift, no overwhelming sign that demands your attention. Instead, there is something deeper, a quiet certainty that what needed to happen has happened. Archangel Michael stands as a witness to this moment, not announcing it loudly, but holding it with authority. Because moments like this do not need to be proven, they are known. You may feel it as a calmness you did not have before, a sense of clarity that does not require explanation, a grounding that was not there when you first began listening. This is the result of staying. This is the result of not turning away. And now, something important must be understood. This completion is not the end of your journey. It is the beginning of moving forward with what has been established. Because what has been written is not just your name, it is your alignment with everything that brought you here. It is the confirmation that you are no longer standing outside of your awareness, but within it. You are no longer searching blindly. You are no longer waiting without understanding. You have crossed into recognition. and that changes how everything unfolds from this point forward. Archangel Michael is making this clear. You are not leaving this moment the same way you entered it. Even if nothing around you has changed physically, something within you has shifted. And that internal shift is what determines what happens next. Because once alignment is established, your decisions begin to reflect it. You no longer move in the same patterns. You no longer ignore the same signals. You no longer dismiss what you feel when something is clearly right or clearly not. This is how transformation begins, not through sudden external change, but through internal clarity that influences every step you take moving forward. And now, as this moment reaches its final stage, there's only one thing left for you to do. Remain. Not just here, but within yourself. Do not rush away from what you have just experienced. Do not immediately return to distraction, as if this moment was just another passing thought. Allow it to settle. Allow it to stay with you. Because what hath been completed is not meant to be forgotten. It is meant to guide you. Archangel Michael is not closing a door behind you. He is opening a path ahead of you. And that path is not Eselucheahikaki and Yerikaki. It is shaped by everything that has just taken place. You have reached the point where your name is no longer in the process of being written. They have been written. And that truth carries forward with you into every decision, every moment, every step that comes next. This is not the end. This is the confirmation that you are ready to move forward with clarity, with awareness, and with something that cannot be easily taken from you. Because it is now part of who you are. Beloved soul, now everything becomes quiet, not because something has ended, but because something has settled into its rightful place within you. There is no more urgency in the air, no more pressure calling for your attention. What needed to reach you has reached you. What needed to be written have you written. And now, here is peace. Take a moment and feel that. The stillness. The calm. The gentle sense that you are exactly where you are meant to be. This is not Eselucheahikaki and Yerikaki. This is the result of your choice to stay, to listen, to remain present when it would have been easier to turn away. Archangel Michael stands beside you now, not as a voice calling out, but as a presence of reassurance. The intensity has passed, and in its place, there is something deeper, comfort. A knowing that you did not miss this moment. A quiet confirmation that you answered the call. There is nothing more you need to prove. Nothing more you need to chase. Because what was meant for you in this moment has already been secured. Your name, written in heaven, is not fragile. It does not fade when this message ends. It does not disappear when you move forward. It remains, not as something distant, but as something connected to who you are now. This is your foundation. And from this place, you are free to move forward without fear of losing what has already been established. Life will continue. There will still be choices to make, paths to walk, moments of uncertainty to navigate. But you will not face them the same way anymore. Because something within you has changed. You have seen clearly. You have felt deeply. You have recognized something that cannot be unseen. And that recognition becomes your guide. When confusion tries to return, you will remember this stillness. When doubt tries to speak louder than your inner knowing, you will remember this clarity. When distractions try to pull you away from what matters, you will remember what it felt like to stay and what it gave you in return. Archangel Michael is not leaving you. This connection does not end here. It continues quietly, steadily, in the way you think, in the way you choose, in the way you carry yourself forward. You are not alone. You were never alone. And now, you know that. So as you step away from this moment, do not rush back into noise. Carry this calm with you. Let it settle into your actions, your thoughts, your decisions. Because this is not just something you experienced. This is something you have become aware of. And awareness like this days. Type IT is written in the comments if you receive this piece. Blessing code 9903 is now activated. And as this peace settles over you, understand this sacred truth. What just happened in your life is not meant to stay with you alone. Just as your name was written, there are others whose names are waiting, others who are standing at the edge of their own divine moment, searching for a sign. The word declares, "Cast your bread upon the waters, for you will find it after many days." This is not just scripture. It is a living invitation being spoken over you now. If you feel within your heart, I want to help carry this light to someone who is still in darkness, that is not SLUCHAIKAKI. That is your spirit responding to heaven's call. When you give, you are not losing. You are sowing seeds into souls, into lives, into moments that may change someone forever. The PayPal link in the description and the QR code before you are your doorway to act in alignment with this calling. Do not delay. Do not let this moment pass without response. Step forward and release your seed with faith. And as you do, may blessings overflow into your life like a river that cannot be contained. May doors open before you, may clarity remain within you, and may everything you release return to you multiplied in ways you did not expect. This is your moment to act. So now,